Okay, we're here at Romford Film Festival. I'm here with the filmmakers behind the short film Garage. Excellent. Didn't even have to ask the applause. Nice one. So my name's Peter. I'm just going to start at this end and we can introduce ourselves and your role within the film, please.
Okay.
Hello, that was very close. I'm Isabelle Clare and I played Grace.
Tēnā koutou kia ora katoa. My name's Patricia. I'm the writer and producer.
My name's Dympna and I'm the director.
And my name's Jack and I edited the film.
Fantastic. Thank you all very much for joining us. Let's start with, very quickly, our journey into film. How, your background, how did you end up in this moment right now?
Can I not go first? Actually, no, I will go first. I have a bit of an unconventional acting background. I actually have a degree in fashion and then decided that the fashion world wasn't for me. So I did a short intensive acting course where I met my best friend who's right there. Shout out Alessandro Torre. And ever since I've just been saying yes to everything and seeing where it's taken me. And it's taken me to some quite exciting places so far.
And Romford.
And Romford.
Yeah.
We was at Cannes 3 days ago and now we're in Romford.
Oh, no one needs Cannes.
I've studied film for 20 years or something. I've produced officially on IMDb over 40 films, like about 45. I used to teach film production and media production. So yeah, I produce, I write, I run action on the side. My company's Busy Kiwi Productions. I make a lot of short films because I love short films. Woo! Yay. There you go.
Journey into film, short films.
Yeah.
I'd written my first short film in 2010. So that was acting and directing and theatre. And I did a degree in screenwriting and film production. And made a couple of more shorts. My short Wool was here 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4. I was trying to remember earlier. Welcome back,
Yes,
by the way.
2022.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Right,
And I've been back to see Romford Festival again. Romford's my favourite festival.
No, thank you. I'll give you
No.
I'm from New Zealand. I've been in the UK about 2 years. And Patricia actually produced my first short film straight out of university about 10 years ago. I've been, since coming to the UK, I've been an editor in the TV industry and film as well. And it's been great.
Fantastic. Let's talk about this film in particular then. How, where does the idea come from? I guess we'll start with the writer and then we'll talk about how you all came on board and what was it about the film that appealed to you?
So for me, I run script development workshops in central London. This came from an exercise with a writer who attended where they wanted to write a sibling relationship. So while they're writing, I'm also writing. And it came from my own experiences with mental health. So like us as writers, we always have an avatar. For me, it's the male character. And then Dympna and I are part of an online screenwriters group. I actually wrote it as a single location, 2 characters for action on the side that I could pitch, which is, we have this 1-month filmmaking project. We make a film over 4 weekends. And I pitched it a couple of times, wasn't selected. But talking to Dympna, we were about 1 year ago lamenting we didn't have a film to take to Cannes to get the Short Film Corner accreditation. So we very quickly got into production and we shot it at the end of September and the start of October last year, specifically for Cannes accreditation, but also to make a film. Yes, so that's where the idea developed and came along.
Okay. And obviously that was the story of how you first became involved in that. What was it about the film specifically that kind of you wanted to get involved with?
Yeah. For me, the single location was great. I really enjoyed the script because of the humour that was in it, and yet how moving it was, and I had, you come across people who have lost someone to suicide. And there was a chap I met on the Pembrokeshire coast who was walking because his cousin, who was also 23, had taken his life, and he was walking all the way to west of Ireland to be with him, to be with the family, or to make and so it really touched me, the idea of you can have someone right beside you who doesn't, because this guy said nobody realised what this cousin was going through, and the idea that, that we've got Grace is there and doesn't know what her big brother's is going through. So I thought that was beautifully shown.
Absolutely. Jake, how did you first become involved, and what stage actually in the project does an editor first come on board?
It was in pre-production, I think, we had our first meeting. And yeah, I was really touched by the script. I thought it had a lot of moving parts to it that were relatable. And yeah, it was a beautiful project to work on. And we actually cut the whole thing over Zoom. This is only the second time that Dympna and I have ever met in real life. So we just had these very long Zoom sessions where we go for the film and pull out all the parts that we liked and then put it all together. And it was great. It was a really great collaboration.
So obviously it's a film that tackles obviously serious subjects. How do you weigh that on set? Do you still, how do you create an environment that is both creative and still fun? I'm hoping it was still a fun experience to make the film. How do you kind of balance that between, the tone of the film itself, which is it's a serious subject matter, as we all know, but how do you still have fun with the process?
Yeah, because we'd gone through the emotion, what leads up to the state he's in. Cause
yeah,
we did film all his angst, and yeah, how did we do that?
It's quite a hard question, isn't it? I would
Yeah.
say from an actor's standpoint, I think it just felt a really comfortable environment from the get-go. Obviously, my character didn't reach a state of upset until right at the end, but I think, it was just a great environment. And we had fun with it in as much as I can't speak English, as much as we could. So at the end of the day, as actors, you enjoy what you do, so it's like play regardless if it's a happy or a sad emotion. So
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
As it's a two-hander, isn't it? How did you and your co-star, how did you work together with the director or then the writer as well, maybe?
Good question. I think we all had a hands-on approach from the get-go. So we did Zoom rehearsals, and then we had a chemistry read, and then we had in-person rehearsals. Even though it's a very short script, we were able to work through it in terms of like the emotions and our relationship with each other. And I think we had that initial bonding before we even got onto set. So once we was on set, it was happy to lally, as much as you can do when you're talking about those kind of topics.
Yeah, sure. And in the I can't speak English now either. Something is. In the edits, then, how do you know? I always ask people this question, so it might be a bit lame. But how do you know when a film is finished in terms of an edit?
I mean, for us, we arrived at it quite naturally, it felt, because we did a couple of passes, and then I said to Dympna, go away, have a think about it, put it away for a couple of days, and then we came back together and we found some more things to work through, and over time we just sort of felt like we'd arrived there, didn't we? I felt like it was a really fluid collaboration and a fluid process. It wasn't anything forced, which was really beautiful.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that worked really well. That usually the editor will do all the bits and then give you back to look at. Whereas this on Zoom, we could, then we could see, that's working.
In real time.
Do it in real time. But then, as you say, give me a few days.
Yeah.
And then go, okay, no, I think it was better that way, or whatever. Yeah.
To each of you, what is a attribute that you think you need to be able to do your role? As as an actor, as a director, as an editor, etc. What kind of attributes do you think line you up well for that role?
I don't want to go first. I need to think about that.
As a producer, I feel understanding all the different departments and what they do helps. And it helps that I've worked in practically every department. So, if camera or lighting says, I need this much time or I need this, I can discuss with them whether they can or not, whether they need it or not. And same for writing. I find that making films helps improve your writing. Consistently writing and practicing, and sometimes writing films knowing that they're too expensive to make helps to refine your voice. Walking around saying everything aloud to get it realistic. Those sort of things help me with writing and filmmaking. Right.
Okay, I'm ready now. Thought about
That's your
it.
turn.
I think as an actor, especially when you're playing roles that have that level of depth, I know Grace didn't have as much depth as my co-star, but just being open-minded and wanting to challenge yourself in those areas. Like, as an actor myself, I've never really explored that level of depth. I normally play, I won't lie, 2 villain characters. So it was nice to flip what you'd call quote-unquote a villain into someone who's naive, and you see the journey of Grace from being a bit naive to what you could class as a villain to begin with, and then see that journey. So just being open-minded to explore different things, whether it's in your comfort zone or without.
Being calm.
Okay.
That's the best quality to have. That and a sure-footedness, yet allowing whatever comes up to come up.
Yeah.
You know, not to be stop.
I think you did a very great job of that.
Thank you.
As an editor, I think it's about letting go of the technical side and just really focusing on being a storyteller. I think that's something that's so important to the creative process for being very knowledgeable of all the footage. So you're watching all the footage, you're going through it again and again, and you're just making sure that all those moments are really standing out by focusing on story and focusing on performance. And I think that this film was a great opportunity to do that.
Has anyone from the audience got a question? Pop your hand up and we'll get a microphone to you. Don't be shy. Come on. Yep, just one here. We'll just get the microphone to you, then everyone will be able to hear you, won't they?
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Loved Garage. Thought it was a really, really neat concept. Loved the one room, 2 people. You know, it's really resourceful filmmaking. How long did the process take from pre-production till you'd finished the cut?
So it would have been about May. We talked about making it. One of the challenges we had was finding a garage because I'm from New Zealand, and the garages we have in New Zealand that I had in my head when I was writing it are not the garages you find in the UK, especially not in London. So
Yours are big.
It took us a while to find a garage. Fortunately, Dympna found one in Worcester, where she's based. So it was May, shot 30th of September, 1st of October. Post-production was done technically by the 1st of January.
It was a 2-day shoot.
2-day shoot. Congratulations. It was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yep, just behind you.
Hello. Is there like a favourite memory that you can all recall together from the shoot? Is there anything that you all kind of align on that's like that is the memorable thing?
I would say it was the what do we call them? The car boot.
We had a boot goblin.
Boot goblin.
So when I was opening the boot to begin with, there was someone from the crew making sure it didn't slam.
Yes.
So I was this poor guy's like legging the boot. I throw the shopping bags in. Obviously, have to act like he's not there, and then just slam the car door shut. So we called him the boot goblin.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Because there was the idea that you would release. We didn't have a way of releasing the boot.
I'm glad you thought of that one.
Thank you.
For me, it was that moment of stillness at the end with that real tight close-up of the 2 of them hugging. I really felt it in the footage that there was a magical moment that happened on set for you guys. Yeah,
It did. We both did just bawl our eyes out.
yeah, it was beautiful.
Thank you. Any other questions? I'm going to ask one. So, was there something you learnt about yourself, either as a person or a creative artist person, that you didn't know when you first started working on this?
Dympna?
That's a really hard question.
I'll tell you a story. It's not really something I learnt, but I will tell you that in September, so in the lead up to us filming this project, I was running my Action on the Side 1 month weekend filmmaking project. Sorry, I'm not trying to sell it to you, I'm just telling you. So I was producing another film, and also I'd been given an eviction notice and I had to move house. And I literally, the day before, when we were driving up to the shoot, I was doing my last move out of the house, and I had to have a couple of people help me who I was driving up to the shoot. So just surviving that and getting to the film shoot, and it was, surviving that month was my main thing.
What I learned about myself is I need, during a shoot, to make sure I've got time to myself.
Okay.
I will not be housing lots of crew next time.
For me, it's a bit more poignant. When I first read the script, it's quite a raw script, and I was a bit nervous about the subject matter and how that would portray. And I think what I learned from doing this process was if you tell a story like this with real honesty and with no pretense, it's just telling the story and making sure that those emotions are just really raw. Then you can make something quite powerful without any of the bangs and whistles that sometimes filmmaking has become accustomed to having. And so that was what I learned, not necessarily about myself, but about a process, about working on a process of a project like this.
I would say from an acting standpoint, it helped me stay outside of the box that I felt that I was put in. I think as an actor you can be archetyped into a certain character form, and this proved to myself and on screen that I can get outside of that, so don't always have to play villains.
So last question, let's start at the far end. What are you working on next?
I'm currently editing a feature film that we shot last month up in, where was it? It was up in Birmingham. That's a great project to be working on.
I'm crowdfunding for my next short, which is called Shakespearean Menopause.
Okay.
Oh, tell them a bit
Can you
more
tell
about
us
A bit
more about that?
Yes, whether it's nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous hormones or to take meds against them. There was a bit of Hamlet. I'm hoping to do a little bit of filming in Ludlow Castle. So swing that one.
I'm preparing for, I'm still running Action on Side, so we've got that in September, running a 48-hour film competition the last weekend of October, writing some shorts, writing some features. That's the main thing at the moment.
Oh, sorry. For myself, I'm an actor but also a presenter, so this is like festival presenting season, so all of the festivals, talking to people, asking questions is what I'm doing next.
I feel like you should have sat here now.
I didn't want to say it.
Sorry about that. Next time, we can do the next one.
Sign me up.
Don't tell me. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming. Congratulations on your film, and wish you luck in the future. Nice to see you again, Dympna, and I hope to see all of you again in the future. Have a round of applause, please.